Ladies and gentlemen, K Kim here with the Traders Club. Welcome to the market update. Today is September 1st, Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday, Labor Day. Market will be closed tomorrow. Thank you for your patience. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, long holiday weekend, and I'm surely enjoying my long holiday weekend. Been sleeping late. This is actually afternoon. I've been sleeping almost till afternoon time every day since Saturday. So yesterday, today, I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. So it's so good. You needed sleep, and so I wanted to come out and do a video as I promised. Do the market update video sometime this weekend. And so today we're gonna be looking at Spider, Qs, and Diamond. Let's look at those three only today because I wanted to go a little bit more in depth in those. But also I want to talk about first, before we get into it, let's talk about this chart right here. I actually been talking about this. I've been tweeting out this week on my Twitter at 2K Kim, and once in a while I like to pick on somebody on CNBC, but he's this guy right here, and people have been telling me, I don't really know this, I don't follow this guy, but people have been telling me that this guy's been calling for market crash since 2000, I don't know, some say 2012, 13, or 2016. I'm sure you guys know more than I do, but people have been telling me this guy's been calling for major crash for several years at least. Anyway, so his track record isn't so great, but nonetheless, this guy comes on CNBC, Fast Money, and potentially talking about S&P to go below the December lows here. And his argument, you can go ahead and watch this and see what you think, but basically he's saying that this is a megaphone pattern, right? That he's arguing that that's bearish, and he's saying that this is rising wedge, which is also bearish. He does, I did watch this clip, and he does kind of mentions that if we do break out, it will be bullish. I think he doesn't want to be, I don't know, just in case if he's wrong, he doesn't want to be laughed at, or you know what I mean. So I think he's saying that if we break above this, he's saying that it's going to be a short-term. I think he said something like it's a short-term bullish. No, if we break out of this, it's going to be very, very long-term bullish for at least a couple years. But so let's kind of, I mean, when you see a chart like this, why don't you back test it, right? I mean, let's not even go, if I really want to, I can go back all the way back in 1900s and see how it's been trading. But let's just go back just last, I don't know, 10 years and see how it played out, right? So he's talking about this megaphone pattern, and then the rising wedge. So that's like double whammy, right? That's double trouble, right? Well, if we go back here, and I tweet this out, I think, a couple days ago, we have the megaphone pattern right here, and we had the much more looking megaphone pattern here. That's much more textbook, I think, to be honest with you, in 2015 and 16. Because you know how many times it hit that level and how many times it hit that upper. That's really a textbook megaphone pattern here. Pretty similar in 2012 as well. That's also megaphone pattern there. You see these highs and then that level. So obviously 2012 we saw 20% decline. This was 15% decline. This is a 20% decline. So those were last 10 years. Those were one of those steep decline that we saw, right? The steep corrections we saw that we remember. Because after the correction, market obviously reversed. After correction, market obviously reversed. And if you've been following me long enough, that I am anticipating a reverse. Right, so megaphone pattern, what people think that is bearish signal is actually not. As you can see, if you look at this incident, and this incident, and I've been actually harping a lot about these wedges. I hate stupid wedges. Everybody likes to talk about these dumb wedges, triangles and wedges. And I said before that They're neither bullish or bearish. They can, because what they a lot of times is going to do is going to look like it's going to break down and just go right back up. It looks like it's going to break out, pull right back, and go right back up. You really want to have to look at things in a more bigger picture. Where are we going as far as a primary term uptrend is concerned? And then you come up with potential outcome, not just based on stupid wedges. This is how dumb people trade. Oh, I see a wedge, so I'm going to go long. I see a wedge, I'm going to go short. You really think that trading the market is going to be this simple? You know, anybody come to you and say, market is very simple. It's going to be a price and volume. That's all you need. These people go broke, and just watch them, how they see how they trade and see if they can have a long-term track record. Think about this. Market is exceedingly complicated place. Just like your life. Your life is complicated because life is complicated place. The market is also exceedingly very, very complicated place. Do you really think that you can chop it down to step 1 and 2 and make money? Because that's what you want, because you don't work hard at it, and you look for people who's going to promise you very, very little work, but you can still make money. There are people out there. I mean, obviously there are people. You don't have to do any, like these, you know, when you look at these nighttime commercials, right? These guys come out and say, you don't even need your own money. Flip houses, make millions. If you buy into that bull crap, you are stupid. And if you listen to these bozos online, yeah, work 30 minutes a day and make extra $300 a week trading. If you really think that's possible, you are stupid. So this is, again, rising wedge, symmetrical triangle, whatever, right? Like, oh my God, look at this wedge, man. This is going to break below. We're going to crash. It's just, I feel redundant that I have to do this every time there's a correction. That I have to say the same thing. And I have to deal with same stupid replies and tweets every time there's a correction. Do you really expect the market to go straight up? Why is that you are firm on your bullish thesis when the market is up? We get freaking measly 6% correction, and now you're freaking out. You're not ready to trade this market. You see, you don't have a stomach for this. That's what really is. That's your insecurities. It has nothing to do, you know, flaws in your analysis or none of that stuff. You just don't have a stomach for this, and you should not be trading. That's the bottom line. You know? But if you're going to come here and if you're going to trade this market, right? And if you want to profit, not just anybody can get a lucky shot here and there, but consistently, year in, year out, then it's going to take some extremely, extremely hard work. And market is very, very complicated place. And it's going to take very, very complicated process to understand this market. If anybody on Twitter, social media, anywhere, acting like market is some joke, like this place is some kind of a playground, right? They're just manufacturing, fabricating some stupid excitement. You know they're not making money. I could read somebody's tweet just a couple times and know that if they're making money or not. Just the way they say things. Some of the vocabulary they might use. Maybe there's some fake excitement. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, so S&P, we got this gap here, right? So, and again, I'm not going to go back to it, but every day I've been tweeting this week. Every day, right? Every day I've been tweeting, or last week. Today's Sunday. So last week, just updating you on gaps. Gap ups and gap downs, right? So this is where we're at now on the S&P. You can see the gap down. See, we've been talking about this, that this gap must be filled. Bull's been attempting to fill this gap many, many times, and that's what led to this. And we've been talking about that. Bulls opened a pretty large gap here. So now we need to protect this gap and fill this little gap quickly. Fill that gap, pull back a little bit, and then go. Then we'll come back here 200, 205 pretty quickly. The best way would be gapping it up above it. It could be on Tuesday we get up a little bit, Tuesday, Wednesday or something, and then we gap it up, and then we go. Then this entirety of it will be what? An island, bottom, reversal. And we'll get to 305 pretty quickly. If this thing starts pull back, I mean, we've been in this very, very volatile environment. Market really hasn't gone anywhere pretty much all throughout August, right? We've been just consolidating. Consolidating is always a good thing in a bull market, in an uptrend, because bears don't like that. Bears don't like, because the more you move sideways, the more momentum is going to be built for the bulls, because that's how bulls operate. Bears don't operate like this. Bears operate, they just like to bring it down pretty bigly, right? But you can see how bulls have already been cultivating higher lows. And this is a difference. These cultivation is a difference, right? And we already saw 20% corrections, and nobody thought this was going to come right back up to new all-time high this quickly. Nobody. Not one person you can point at me that somebody actually saw this happening and publicly, publicly articulated, expressed it, right? So now, and the way we are as a human being, we're adamant people. We're egotistical people. A lot of people thought that this was going to be the beginning of a crash, recession, or bear market, or 1987 Black Monday, or 1929 Great Depression. Like, everybody likes to throw that word. I've been hearing that word, 1929 Great Depression, 1987 Black Monday. I've been hearing that since 2016 lows, all throughout this move here. It never ends. It never ends. And it gets to a point where I don't even want to deal with these, I'm sorry to say, these lowlifes. I don't even want to deal with these people, because it never ends. This is every time we saw something like that, they just always go right back to it. 1987 Black Monday, 1929 Great Depression, right? It's kind of like low-life people in this world that every time there's a little difficulty in their life, oh my God, I want to kill myself. Oh my God, I'm so fucking depressed, right? And they go back to drugs and drinking, right? Every time there's a little difficulty in their life, they just go back to it. I don't want to deal with the low life. I'm not saying I don't want to help. If they're willing to change. If they're willing to change, and they say, okay, I want you to help me out with my life, I'm willing to help. But if you want to just go right back to it, every time there's a little difficulties and there's no motivation, there's no discipline, there's no patience, there's no work ethic, then no. And traders do the same thing. Right? Market goes up. Yeah, man, market's going to go up, blah, blah, blah. K was right. Market pulls back. Oh, is K wrong this time? Yeah, I don't know, man. The China deal, tariffs, and interest rate, the feds. Yeah. The stupidest thing that you ever going to say is if you say something stupid like, yeah, Trump's going to say something and it's going to mess up the market. Or some stupid thing like that. That's the stupidest thing you can ever say as a trader and investor. You just don't understand how the market works. If you say some stupid things like that, at least you don't understand how the market works in the long term. If you say something like, yeah, Trump's going to say something stupid and it's going to tank the market, or some stupid things. Anyway, so it's been a volatile market. So there's a chance that it's going to come back down, retest it. What bulls want to do is make sure protect it, at least partial of it. Maybe bears going to try to come and fill it. We got to make sure, bulls got to make sure, keep this gap open. Keep this gap open. All right. And then again, I'll tweet things out this coming week as well. Here's the Qs. Pretty much same story here. The gap remains open. All right. So we got that up gap there. And diamond, I'll end the video with this. Diamond, I feel like diamond is a little bit more stronger as far as the technical is concerned, because you can see we kind of attempted to break out. There's no gaps. There's no down gaps here. And on the diamond, we attempted to break out. Also, if you just look at this, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Look at this moving average. There's a 20 MA and there's a 50 MA, right? The green or the blue, light blue is 20. The dotted pink is 50. You see how they've been pulling back and it's been acting as resistance here? Same thing happened here. But this thing broke above the moving average, came down, retested, and that was that higher low, right? It was right there. You see it right here. Something similar looking here. You see that? You see it. Resistance, resistance. Old resistance, becoming what? New support, right? I have to say Apple's been holding up quite well with this recent decline that we've seen in August, or this volatility and the decline we saw, and especially with this decline we saw right here. And Apple is obviously a big component for the Dow, and I think that's what's keeping this index holding up. So I have to say Diamond, just looking at technical way, just looking at this right now, I know Diamond's been underperforming, as you can see here. S&P 17% year to date, NASDAQ 21% year to date, Diamond is only 13% year to date. But just looking at this price action, I feel like Diamond is strongest looking chart. Just looking at, this week's price action, as it has broke above the moving average, well above it, right? Like this, and then came down, retested, and you can see that's kind of what is happening right now. So if we can hold that, and if we can make these moving averages kind of, cross back up, because we're right on that juncture. You see how 20 and the 50, they met right there. So if you see the 20 getting back up like this, and the 50 following, it's going to look a lot like right here, like that. So let's see how it plays out this coming week. If I see anything, I'll tweet things out at 2K Kim. We'll go from there. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and good luck trading this coming week.